You can call me Scrooge, but all I'm saying is you don't need a supersonic fat man to show your children you love them. It's just straight up selfish, lazy parenting. Let's be real here. You're not doing anything for the kids. This is all for you. We think that this is just a silly little lie, and it's not. Let's start questioning what we're doing, because clearly it's not really working. Welcome to the Madeline Summers Show, lovelies. I am feeling so festive today. I even have a Santa hat, which, speaking of which, that's the whole topic for today. Why I won't lie to my kids about Santa. And there's so many reasons for this, and this is a topic that I'm pretty passionate about because I'm really into childhood psychology. But let's just start it off with reason number one. I actually wrote an entire essay about this when I was in high school, but one of the top reasons is simply because when you lie about something as silly and insignificant as like Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the leprechaun on St. Patrick's Day, all of these things, it creates trust issues whether you or your child realizes it or not. Subconsciously, you are creating trust issues within them so that when they get older, they are not going to be able to trust you nearly as much because you lied about such insignificant things. And the other huge thing that goes along with this is that usually kids figure this out from their friends. Their friends start talking about stuff around Christmas. Do you believe in Santa? What do you think? And it's like, oh, well, my parents told me that Santa's not real and blah, 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 blah. And so your children learn that they are going to get accurate information from their friends, whereas their parents are going to lie to them or tell them the things that they feel like the kids need to hear or whatever. And that's just creating this divide between the parent and child. You might not think it's a big deal because it's like, oh, it's Santa, it's cute, blah, blah. It's really not. Is lying to your kids cute? Is taking advantage of their innocence and gullibility cute? I don't think so. And a lot of people will say, oh, it's just a story. It's not just a story, because a story, your kids know when a story is a story. You know, you open up a book and you read it to them, and they know it's not real. They might play, make believe, but with Santa, you're actually telling them this is factual, that there is this human that visits the entire world in one night through the sky with reindeer. And it's like, that's just a flat out lie. It's not just a story. And it's fine if you tell it to them like a story. And, you read the book to them and you don't pretend like this is reality and you just give it to them straight. That's awesome. That's totally fine. What I have a serious problem with is when parents continue to perpetuate lie after lie after lie after lie just for their own entertainment. Because let's be real here, you're not doing anything for the kids. This is all for you. This is all for your enjoyment, your entertainment. It's not helping their imagination. It's not helping with the magic of Christmas. All you got to do is just tell them that it's a story and it's not real. You don't need to, I don't think it's cute at all to trick someone into believing something that they think is totally real that everyone else knows is false. To just continue perpetuating that lie. And furthermore, it's exhausting to follow that ruse and to continue coming up with all these explanations for their valid questions. Which brings me to my next point, is that the Santa lie discourages critical thinking. Every time that kids come up with all these logical questions, like, how is that possible for Santa to go around the whole world in one night, delivering presents to every single child in the world, flying through the sky in reindeer? It doesn't make sense, and yet we create all these fantasies to tell them, oh, well, it's just magic. No. And here's the other thing. It's just straight up selfish, lazy parenting. I mean, you're motivating your kids with fear, materialism, and you're teaching them conditional love. You're telling them, hey, if you're good, you'll get gifts. And if you're not, then you won't. Santa won't visit you. What do you think that does to a child's psychology? Why do you think our world is so messed up today? Is it because of things like this that continue to stack up and kids think, oh, I have to act a certain way in order to get things, in order to receive love? Because a lot of people, gifts is their love language. And if they feel like they need to be a specific way or else they won't get gifts and therefore they won't receive love if that's their love language, imagine what that's teaching them about conditional love, and imagine what that's going to do for their relationships going on in life. We think that this is just a silly little lie, and it's not. This creates issues down the road. And I think it's so incredibly ironic that adults love to teach kids, oh, honesty is the best policy. We always need to be honest. And then the parents are straight up lying to the kids, probably on a daily. It's not just about Santa. It's constant little lies all the time. And we're constantly, it's like adults don't even follow that advice ourselves. We don't really even follow the whole honesty is the best policy. If you'll notice, most adults lie. I think there's been studies done about this. I think like 10 times a day or something. And it might be little white lies that we think don't really matter. Like, we're going up to the cash register and, somebody asks for our email and we're like, oh, I don't have an email. But your kids are noticing that. They're noticing that you're lying to get out of saying the truth because it makes you uncomfortable and you don't really know how to set boundaries and all of that. You don't know how to just say no. If someone asks for your email, no, I don't want to give out my email. Instead, we say, oh, I don't have one. And so we're teaching our kids to lie because we do it ourselves, right? And so I say, either tell kids that honesty is the best policy and actually follow through and teach them what that looks like, or just stop saying it. Stop giving them ideals that you can't even follow yourself. And let's just talk about some of the Christmas lyrics to do with Santa. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. First of all, that's just creepy. And second of all, this has to do with our entire society's habit of suppressing emotions. This is so ingrained in every single thing we do. No wonder people have so many addictions, because we are constantly, from the time we are born, we're telling our little kids, you better not pout, you better not cry, get over yourself, suppress your emotions, you need to be a good child, you need to keep yourself in check, don't get angry, don't cry, don't do anything wrong, follow the rules, and you will get gifts and therefore love. And it's just such insanity. And I know that this might sound like really outstretched, like, oh, it's not a big deal, it's just Santa, it's whatever, it's, oh, that's just a song. But it's really, really not, because the subconscious mind is very literal. And especially when we're talking about kids from the age of 0 to 7, when their subconscious mind is being formed, which, by the way, for anyone who doesn't know, your subconscious mind is what runs the 95% of your entire life. Everything you're doing pretty much is subconscious, and your subconscious, again, is created from the age of 0 to 7. So whatever you learn during that period of time is going to change the entire course of your life. And I can make so many videos about this because this is such an in-depth topic. So I apologize if it's very confusing, if you're like, what the hell are you talking about? But what I'm saying here is that what we say to our kids, what we teach them, these little undertones that we don't even notice, like these song lyrics, things like that, that actually makes a difference. Just like I said, as far as conditional love, teaching kids, oh, if you cry, if you do anything that I don't like, you're too loud, oh, you're bad, and you're not going to get gifts. And, again, just teaching this whole cycle of suppressing emotions and that you're not innately worthy, yada, 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 all these reasons why we have such a messed up society because of things like this, and because most people don't really know how to parent. Of course, they're doing the best they can, but in reality, no one really knows what they're doing. They're just figuring it out along the way. And so that's why I'm making videos like this, to say, hey, let's start questioning what we're doing, because clearly it's not really working. We have disease skyrocketing. We have mental illnesses skyrocketing. And why is that? I think it has a lot to do with parenting. I think it has a lot to do with how our foundation is set up. Of course, you can recover from that, but if we could just take the steps to help our kids when they're young, it would make all the difference. And just one simple thing you could do is not lie to your kids about Santa and just tell them the truth, that it's just a story. It doesn't take the magic out of Christmas. All it does is make you a little bit more accountable to your own actions and not, basically making your kids behave based off a fictional character and being entertained by their innocence. So I was just editing this video and I was eating my applesauce, and I felt like it was important to mention that if you decide to continue lying to your kids about Santa, you probably shouldn't bring them around me during the holidays, because I'm not going to perpetuate your lies for you. So if you're looking for someone to talk about how the reindeer ran across their roof last night, I'm not your girl. So anyway, that's how we're kicking off December. See you next time, humans.